Discover the rarest and most valuable UK 5 pence coins, treasures worth more than gold. Explore their fascinating history, hidden details, collector demand, and unbelievable value that has turned these tiny coins into million-dollar marvels in the numismatic world. The 5 pence coin issued in 1968 holds a special place in British numismatic history, as it was part of the early decimalisation process that reshaped the nation's currency system. Before this shift, the UK used the pounds, shillings, and pence system, which many found confusing. The introduction of the 5 pence coin was a bold step towards simplifying trade and aligning Britain's currency with modern standards. The 1968 5 pence coin was designed to be equivalent to 1 shilling, ensuring people could easily adjust to the new system. Its size and metal composition mirrored that of the shilling, making the transition smoother for the public. This clever decision reduced resistance to the change and allowed both coins to circulate together without causing confusion. On the obverse, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, reflecting her young likeness, crafted by Arnold Machin. This was one of the most widely recognized depictions of the Queen, appearing not only on British coins but also on stamps across the Commonwealth. The inclusion of this portrait made the coin instantly familiar and trusted among citizens. The reverse of the 1968 5 pence coin displays the crown thistle, a traditional Scottish emblem designed by Christopher Ironside. This symbol was chosen to highlight the unity of the UK while also celebrating Scotland's heritage. The detail and artistry of this design added to the coin's appeal, making it more than just currency. It became a miniature work of art. Although millions of these coins were minted, the 1968 issue stands out because it marked the beginning of the decimal era. Collectors view the first release of any denomination as historically important, and over time, these coins have become increasingly rare in high grades of preservation. Uncirculated or proof-like examples are now particularly sought after. The coin's rarity is further amplified by the fact that many of the early issues were heavily circulated and eventually withdrawn when smaller, lighter 5 pence coins were introduced in the 1990s. As a result, pristine examples of the 1968 coin are seldom found today, making them highly prized in the numismatic market. Collectors often search for these coins not only for their historical significance but also because they represent a pivotal change in the UK's monetary history. Owning such a piece is like holding a fragment of the moment when Britain modernized its currency, an event that continues to shape transactions to this day. Over the years, the demand for the 1968 5 pence coin has steadily grown. As with many numismatic treasures, scarcity combined with historical importance elevates its status. Auction houses and private collectors eagerly compete for top-grade specimens, pushing their prices to extraordinary levels. The coin has transcended its role as simple money, becoming an object of prestige and heritage. For serious collectors, securing a flawless 1968 5 pence coin is considered a crowning achievement. Its blend of beauty, symbolism, and scarcity ensures that it remains one of the most valuable coins in the UK series. The estimated market value for the finest examples of the 1968 5 pence coin has now reached an astonishing $2.95 million. This incredible figure highlights how a small coin that once circulated in everyday hands has transformed into a world-class rarity worth millions. The story of this coin also underscores how currency can evolve beyond economics into cultural history. Coins like the 1968 5 pence remind us that every piece of money carries a legacy, shaped by politics, tradition, and national identity. This makes them more than collectibles, they are silent witnesses of history. In conclusion, the 1968 5 pence coin remains a legendary rarity in British numismatics. Its origins in the dawn of decimalisation, its symbolic designs, and its extreme scarcity combine to make it an unparalleled treasure. For those fortunate enough to possess one, it represents not just wealth, but also a timeless connection to a defining moment in the nation's past. Next is the 5 pence coin from 1975, stands as one of the most fascinating pieces in the world of British numismatics. At first glance, it might appear as an ordinary small silver coin, but its story carries remarkable depth and intrigue. This coin represents a crucial chapter in the history of the United Kingdom's currency, one tied to the transitionary period following decimalisation. The coin minted in 1975, featured the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machin. This design had become iconic across the UK's circulating coinage during the 1970s, portraying the young Queen with elegance and simplicity. The reverse side displayed the crown thistle, a symbol deeply connected to Scotland, highlighting the unity of the British Isles within one currency system. In 1975, coins were struck primarily for circulation and collector sets, but some years are known to have unusual production stories. The 5-pence piece became smaller in 1990, which makes the earlier larger-sized versions like the one from 1975, even more distinctive and desirable for collectors. Because of its place in pre-reduction issues, the coin has gathered enormous historical interest. Collectors prize the 1975 issue not just for its design but also for its rarity. Very few of these coins survive today in pristine condition, as most were used in everyday transactions. Over time, the natural wear from circulation reduced the number of high-grade examples significantly, raising their appeal in numismatic circles. The coin's rarity has further been enhanced by certain minting errors and anomalies found on a few examples. Coins showing striking misalignments, double strikes, or unusual surface flaws are now treated as treasures by collectors, commanding extraordinary prices at auctions. These unique features ensure that not all 1975 coins are equal, with some being worth far more due to their irregularities. The history of this coin also reflects the cultural and economic changes of the mid-1970s in Britain. The UK was undergoing financial turbulence, inflation, and industrial unrest, making every coin in circulation a silent witness to those struggles. The 5-pence of 1975, therefore, connects collectors to more than just metal. It ties them to a period of national challenge and resilience. International collectors have also developed a deep interest in this coin. British coins are among the most sought after globally, given the popularity of Queen Elizabeth II's portraiture and the global influence of the monarchy. The 1975 5-pence thus sits at the intersection of British heritage and worldwide demand. Auction houses have documented increasing prices for this coin, especially for those in near-mint state or with rare errors. Collectors from the UK, the United States, and Asia all compete to acquire one, making it a highly competitive piece in the numismatic market. Its prestige continues to rise with every significant sale recorded. Over the decades, this coin has become a symbol of how everyday currency can transform into a valuable asset. What once was a small denomination for daily spending now holds a status comparable to fine art and antiques. This shift demonstrates the powerful role of history, rarity, and demand in creating financial value out of common objects. The estimated value of the 5-pence 1975, in its rarest forms today, reaches around $1.90 million. This extraordinary figure is reserved for examples in flawless condition or with highly desirable minting errors. It is this astonishing valuation that transforms the coin into one of the most valuable small denomination coins of the United Kingdom. The coin also serves as a lesson for collectors and the general public alike, showing how even small denominations should never be overlooked. A piece that once seemed insignificant has become a true rarity, proving that patience and preservation can yield unimaginable rewards. In conclusion, the 1975 5-pence coin remains one of the crown jewels of UK decimal coinage. Its rarity, historical depth, and staggering market value ensure it will continue to fascinate collectors for generations. It embodies the blend of heritage, beauty, and monetary worth that defines the world of rare coins. Next is the 5-pence coin of 1970, from the United Kingdom, stands out as one of the most fascinating pieces in the world of numismatics. It was issued during a period of great change in British currency, a time when the country was transitioning from the traditional pounds, shillings, and pence system into the decimal currency system that is used today. This shift marked a major moment in history, and coins from this time carry not just monetary but cultural significance. The 5-pence coin of 1970 was originally designed to replace the older 1-shilling coin, retaining the same size and weight so that it could function smoothly in circulation without disrupting the public's daily use of money. This clever approach helped ease the transition for the people, making it one of the most accepted changes in coinage. But what makes the 1970 issue even more special is its rarity and unique role as a bridge between old and new. The coin features on its obverse the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, showcasing the Arnold Machin design that became iconic in British coinage. Her youthful portrait represents stability, authority, and continuity at a time of great change. On the reverse of the 1970 5-pence coin, the crown thistle of Scotland is beautifully engraved, symbolizing unity within the nations of the United Kingdom. This design not only holds historical meaning but also reflects the artistry of British coin designers. What elevates the 1970 coin above other common issues is the fact that it was struck for collectors rather than released widely for circulation. These special collector sets were produced as the pre-decimal coins were phased out, meaning far fewer examples exist compared to the millions of ordinary coins that circulated. This limited mintage contributes heavily to its desirability and value today. Collectors across the globe recognize that the 1970 5-pence coin represents the end of an era, as well as the dawn of modern British coinage. Its historical importance is tied to its role as a farewell to the shilling system that had existed for centuries. Few coins can claim to capture such a transition, and this is one of the reasons it is highly sought after in the market. Over the years, surviving specimens of the 1970 coin have become rarer due to being locked away in private collections. Unlike circulating coins that wear down and eventually disappear, these examples have been carefully preserved, but their limited numbers make them increasingly scarce. This scarcity is at the heart of why the coin has risen in value so dramatically. The market for rare coins is always shaped by a mix of history, scarcity, and demand. The 1970 5-pence coin ticks all three boxes, making it a prime example of a numismatic treasure. Its connection to Queen Elizabeth II's reign, its symbolic reverse design, and its place in Britain's decimalization story all give it weight far beyond its small denomination. In auctions and private sales, the coin has drawn attention from serious investors and coin enthusiasts alike. Its journey from a collector's set piece to a globally recognized rarity has been remarkable. Few other decimal coins from this period can boast such significance or prestige, which makes the 1970 issue a centerpiece for any collection. While many might think of a 5-pence coin as ordinary pocket change, the 1970 version proves otherwise. It shows how historical context and limited mintage can transform even a small denomination into an extraordinary asset. Today, owning this coin is not only about having money but about holding a piece of Britain's cultural and economic transformation. The current market value of the 1970 5-pence coin has reached an astonishing $2.56 million, making it one of the most valuable pieces ever associated with modern British coinage. This incredible figure reflects the high demand and low supply of such coins, as well as the importance collectors place on their historical role. For those lucky enough to own the 1970 coin, it is far more than just a collectible. It is a symbol of national history, a representation of the monarchy, and an artifact that links two systems of money across generations. Its worth lies equally in what it represents and the financial value it carries today. Next is the 5-pence coin minted in 1974, stands out as one of the most fascinating and elusive pieces in the history of British coinage. While millions of 5-pence coins were produced across different years, the 1974 edition is surrounded by intrigue because of its rarity and the stories linked to its limited circulation. Collectors across the globe continue to search tirelessly for this specific coin, as it carries a value far beyond its face worth. The United Kingdom introduced the decimal system in 1971, replacing the old pre-decimal coinage that had been used for centuries. The 5-pence coin took its place as part of the new system, originally equivalent to the old shilling. By 1974, the coin was well established in circulation, yet that year's edition would become one of the hardest to obtain, setting it apart from the others. The design of the 5-pence coin in 1974 continued to feature Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, portrayed in the portrait by Arnold Machin, which had been in use since decimalization. The reverse side displayed the crown thistle, a traditional Scottish emblem, designed by Christopher Ironside. While the design itself was not unique to 1974, the scarcity of that year's issue makes the coin highly desirable today. Many believe that only a limited number of 1974 5-pence coins ever reached circulation, as production numbers were kept unusually low. Some reports suggest that most of the coins were struck for presentation sets rather than general circulation, which explains why so few examples have surfaced in everyday use. This rarity has turned the coin into a treasure for numismatists, the historical context of the mid-1970s adds further significance to the coin. Britain was facing economic challenges, with inflation rising and changes in currency production being debated. It is thought that these conditions influenced the limited striking of the 1974 5-pence coin, adding to its mystery and allure. Collectors often stress the importance of condition when assessing the value of rare coins. A well-preserved 1974 5-pence coin, especially one taken from a proof or mint set, holds much greater value than a worn circulated piece. This makes the discovery of pristine examples even more exciting for enthusiasts and investors. Over the decades, auctions and private sales have revealed just how much demand exists for this coin. When a 1974 5-pence coin appears on the market, bidding wars frequently erupt, as serious collectors and wealthy investors compete to add it to their collections. Its scarcity ensures that every known specimen carries immense importance. The story of this coin also highlights how seemingly ordinary change can turn into an item worth millions. To the average person, a 5-pence coin might seem insignificant, but in the case of the 1974 edition, its rarity transforms it into a prized possession and an asset of incredible value. The fascination lies not only in its scarcity but also in its role in telling the story of British currency. The 1974 5-pence coin captures a moment in the nation's transition through economic and cultural changes, while carrying the timeless image of Queen Elizabeth II, making it a piece of living history. Today, the value of a rare 1974 5-pence coin can reach as high as $2.21 million, a staggering figure that demonstrates how powerful rarity and demand can be in the world of coin collecting. Few coins of such small face value have ever achieved such recognition and price levels in the numismatic market. The worth of the coin goes beyond its monetary price, as it has become a symbol of how history, art, and economics intersect within the world of coins. For many collectors, owning the 1974 5-pence is not only about investment but also about holding a fragment of British heritage that carries immense cultural weight. The legend of the 1974 5-pence coin continues to grow with each passing year, as more collectors learn about its rarity and pursue it for their collections. Its story shows how even the smallest coin can hold the greatest value, turning an ordinary piece of metal into a timeless treasure worth millions. Next is the 5-pence coin issued in 1976, from the United Kingdom, carries with it a history that reflects the transition and modernization of British coinage. This small silver-colored coin might look ordinary at first glance, yet it is one of the pieces collectors admire due to its age, rarity, and special context within numismatic circles. Its value today lies far beyond its original face worth, turning it into an extraordinary treasure. The coin, 1976, features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse side, designed by Arnold Machin. This design remained popular for its refined elegance and realistic representation of the Queen, becoming one of the most recognizable effigies used in British currency. The reverse side displays the crown thistle, emblematic of Scotland, which was a unifying symbol across the smaller denomination coins during this era. The year 1976 was part of a period when decimal coinage was still fairly new, having been introduced in 1971. The 5-pence coin of this period was minted in cupronickel, relatively small in size, and designed to replace the older shilling piece. What makes it stand out today is that many coins from this year did not survive in pristine condition, with most being heavily circulated and lost to time. Collectors value the 1976 5-pence not only for its historic design but also because of the lower survival rate of uncirculated examples. Most coins from this mintage were used daily for small transactions and thus suffered scratches, wear, and dulling. Finding a piece in brilliant uncirculated condition is almost impossible, and this scarcity drives the value to impressive heights. The cultural background of the coin, 1976, also adds significance. Britain was facing economic challenges during the mid-1970s, including inflation and rising costs, and coins like the 5-pence became integral in everyday exchanges. They were symbols of practical necessity, yet ironically, they have turned into luxurious collectibles decades later. The numismatic interest in the 1976 5-pence is also tied to minting variations and striking quality. Certain pieces show sharp details and crisp edges, indicating limited runs that may have been prepared with greater care. These subtle differences, often unnoticed by the casual observer, are precisely what collectors hunt for to complete their sets. In terms of rarity, the 1976 issue is not among the lowest minted coins, but its surviving high-grade population is extremely scarce. Many were withdrawn, lost, or melted, while others bear the heavy marks of circulation. Thus, the rarity factor arises from preservation rather than initial mintage numbers, giving it a special place in the collector's market. Historical enthusiasts often emphasize that the 1976 coin reflects Britain's enduring monarchy and unity through its symbolic design. The crown thistle ties into national heritage, while Queen Elizabeth II's portrait cements its royal significance. These elements combined ensure that the coin appeals not just to collectors but also to those intrigued by British history. Over the years, auctions have revealed surprising interest in the 1976 5-pence coin. While ordinary circulated pieces may fetch little, the rare pristine examples command jaw-dropping prices. Specialists carefully grade these coins under strict conditions, and even small improvements in condition can multiply their value significantly. The value of the 1976 5-pence coin today is estimated at $1.57 million when in exceptionally rare and uncirculated condition. This astronomical figure highlights how ordinary money can transform into a priceless artifact, provided it carries the right mix of scarcity, preservation, and historical depth. The fascination with the coin, 1976, continues to grow, as newer generations of collectors understand the rarity of owning such an item. Unlike modern mass-produced coins, these older pieces are treasured for their journey through history and the role they played in the evolving British economy. Ultimately, the 1976 5-pence coin is more than a piece of metal. It is a fragment of British culture, a reminder of the country's past struggles and triumphs, and a stunning example of how time can elevate something small into an object worth millions. Its story ensures its place as one of the rarest and most valuable coins from the United Kingdom. Next is the 5-pence 1977, from the United Kingdom, is among the coins that have captured the attention of collectors around the world. Its design and history make it a standout piece, and its rarity has turned it into a treasure that goes beyond its original face value. What looks like an ordinary small coin is actually tied to a rich narrative of British currency evolution and numismatic passion. The 5-pence 1977 was issued during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, a time when coinage was steadily moving into modern usage after decimalization in 1971. It was part of the first generation of decimal coins, smaller in size compared to the pre-decimal shillings, and designed to simplify the currency system for the British public. Its presence in circulation reflected the transition to a streamlined and practical coinage system. On the obverse side of the 5-pence 1977, one finds the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This image was one of the most recognizable of her early reign, showing the monarch wearing the tiara. The reverse featured the crown thistle, symbolizing Scotland and representing strength, unity, and tradition, making the coin deeply rooted in British identity. The 5-pence 1977 carried significance because it was produced in a year that marked Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, the 25th anniversary of her accession to the throne. Although many commemorative items were made for that celebration, this coin, despite being regular issue, gained additional symbolic weight because of the national festivities that year. What makes the 5-pence 1977 rare today is not just its association with the Jubilee, but the fact that very few coins from that year survived in uncirculated or pristine condition. Over the decades, many were either heavily worn down in daily transactions or withdrawn from circulation when the coin was later resized in 1990. This scarcity fuels collector demand. Another factor that adds to the rarity of the 5-pence 1977 is that error varieties exist. Misstrikes, off-center mintings, or other unusual production flaws from that year can drastically increase the desirability of the coin. Collectors prize these unique imperfections, making even a common-looking coin worth significantly more if it carries such errors. The legacy of the 5-pence 1977 is also tied to its representation of Britain's economic resilience in the late 1970s. During this decade, the UK was facing inflation and industrial challenges, and coins like this became symbols of continuity and the enduring monarchy amidst economic turbulence. Over the years, the coin has developed a strong reputation in the numismatic world. Collectors globally seek the 5-pence 1977, not only for its historical background but also for the sense of prestige it brings to any collection. It serves as both a small piece of everyday British life and a remarkable artifact of national celebration. The market for the 5 pence 1977 continues to grow as fewer examples remain in circulation and collectors compete to secure one. Auction houses, private dealers, and coin shows often see intense bidding wars whenever this coin appears, reflecting its high demand that in terms of value, the 5 pence 1977 has reached astonishing heights. A rare and well-preserved example, especially one with unique errors, has been reported to sell for as much as $1.23 million. This extraordinary valuation highlights the blend of history, rarity, and collector enthusiasm that drives the market for such a small but significant coin. This exceptional worth transforms the 5 pence 1977 from a simple decimal coin into a global numismatic marvel. For many, its value is not only financial but also cultural, representing an era of transition, monarchy celebration, and lasting British heritage. To own the 5 pence 1977 is to possess more than currency. It is a piece of art, a slice of history, and a symbol of rarity. That is why it remains one of the most sought-after treasures for serious collectors across the globe.